Hi, everybody. Bob here. This is, again, I'll have Mom check the number, but this is, this video is my opinion on the Quantum Leap episode Off the Cuff. It, opens with Ben becoming a bounty hunter again. If you remember how much I loved the last bounty hunter episode, I I can imagine you'd understand how cool I thought this beginning was. It opens with the guy listening to the Rolling Stones. Um, and he's cuffed himself to a bounty crook. And come to find out, this crook was Hannah's brother-in-law. That's right. Not only one episode later, it's another Hannah episode. And it's 5 years later, I want to say. Only a short time later for her, but those in between years, I imagine, could feel like a lifetime. Anyone who's had anything big happen to them can attest to that. And again, quantum leaping would be the biggest thing you could have happen to a person. And her brother-in-law Kevin is a real piece of work. At first, I was all about him because he's writing a book. I'm writing a book. I thought maybe, kindred spirit. But no, this guy put diamonds in his nephew's teddy bears and shipped it to him just to say he had money. And it's enough where the kid, Anna has a kid now, by the way, the kid could say he has a whole family of teddy bears. So he's been doing it for a while. Season 2, episode 9. Thank you, Mom. That's for future Bob and Mom. Yeah. You find out that her brother-in-law and her husband Joshua were put in the foster care system. And even before you find out it's Hannah's husband, you find out from his piece of work brother that he was always the kid that got away. And how her piece of work brother-in-law could have been a valedictorian, could have been somebody, but the valedictorianship got taken away from him. You find out later it's because of Josh. because of her husband, you know. You find this out while Ben's being patched up. The car I mentioned explodes after it's rammed off the road by some crooks that you didn't know are after her piece of work relation. And Ben gets harmed in the explosion. And Asin tells him if you don't get to a doctor, and it just so happens her husband is a doctor. So he drags him through, kind of like how I imagine they did with Dr. Mudd in the Civil War. Mudd being like, you know, your name is Mudd. He was the doctor that helped John Wilkes Booth. I mean, this guy's not that bad, but it was the same awkward conversation, same, what's your real deal? He tells him it's his driver, but he's not his driver. He knows him because he's a bounty hunter that's collecting him. I wonder if Hannah's son's gonna become important in the future. The kid is very bright. They're they're, they're building a um Hannah has this invention that like an average 7-year-old wouldn't be able to build on his own. But this kid's very bright. Not bright enough to figure out that Uncle Kevin doesn't want to play with his bears and he wants to take off the heads for the diamonds, but who is? Um, there's a twist with the lady that's employing Ben. Lady that's employing the person Ben leaped into. Anyway, I'm not gonna spoil that twist. I thought it was fun watching it the second time because I forgot that this lady was important. I was focused on radical selfishness and them. Is Ben going to make it? How is this going to tie into the main story? But overall, it was a fun leap. Um, can't wait to see what they're going to do next. um, it wasn't as good as some of the classic episodes, but it was still a definite 3. Watching it over again, you see that the license plate of the car that explodes and gets run off the road because they're trying to find his bounty says I find him. And yes, Jeffrey turns out to be important. Very important. So those were my thoughts. It's a definite 3. Bob out. 3 of 5. 3 out of 5. God, I can't talk today. Bob out.